Aya Wilson isn't merely redefining basketball greatness. She's reimagining what it means to inhabit power with compassion, dominance with humility, and legacy with stewardship. When she steps onto a court, it's not just her scoring or rebounding that matters. It's the ripple effect she creates on teammates, communities, and the broader narrative of women's sports. Born on August 8, 1996, in Hopkins, South Carolina, Aya grew up surrounded by the Red Storm spirit. From a young age, she displayed physical gifts, height, athleticism, and coordination that made her a standout in every youth league she entered. But more than that, even early on, she showed leadership, a sense that basketball was bigger than personal stats. She listened, she learned, she lifted. At Heathwood Hall Episcopal School, Aya made headlines as one of the most dominant high school players in the country. She averaged roughly 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 blocks per game. Yet despite the spectacular numbers, what stood out was her maturity. She didn't posture or perform. She just played, and inspired every time she did. Coaches, teammates, and fans noticed that she carried a sense of purpose, an awareness that her game meant influence. When she chose to attend the University of South Carolina, she was joining one of the premier women's programs, but she arrived and quickly reshaped the program's identity. Under Coach Dawn Staley's leadership, Aya didn't just become the centerpiece of the team, she became the heart. By the end of her senior year, she had won virtually every major collegiate award, 2 national championships, 2 SEC Player of the Year honors, Naismith and Wooden awards, and was named NCAA Final Four Most Outstanding Player. But her legacy was not just in trophies, it was in transformation. She re-energized a fan base, empowered a school, and inspired a state. Aya's college career was also notable for how she played, both inside and outside. She wasn't just a post scorer. She handled like a guard, shot threes, rebounded with ferocity, and defended with discipline. She filled the stat sheet without ever sacrificing team play. She embodied what modern women's basketball craves: size with skill, softness with strength, and dominance with discipline. When the Las Vegas Aces selected her first overall in the 2018 WNBA draft, the franchise secured more than a generational talent. They gained a leader of character, someone who understood that being a cornerstone meant carrying responsibility. Her rookie season earned her WNBA Rookie of the Year honors and cemented her as the certainty the rebuilding Aces had long needed. Over the ensuing seasons, Aya evolved into perhaps the most complete player in women's basketball. She grew into a 2-time league MVP, 2020 and 2022, a Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star multiple times, and finally, the centerpiece of a championship team that won its first WNBA title in 2022. But what underscores her greatness is how she carried each success with modesty. She shares credit freely, uplifts teammates publicly, and leads by example. In the moments following championship triumphs, she celebrated not herself, but the collective. She turned locker rooms into platforms for community celebration, spotlighting the women beside her. Aya isn't just a star, she strives to elevate others around her to stardom too. Beyond wins and accolades, Aya Wilson has taken on a broader role in redefining the athlete as a community builder. She launched the Court of Dreams Foundation, focused on youth, education, and empowerment in underserved communities across South Carolina. She returned to her hometown to build basketball courts so kids could play safely. She also spearheaded efforts to invest in women's sports at the grassroots level, using her platform to bring visibility and funding to communities often overlooked by major sponsors. Her impact extends internationally as well. Aya played for the U.S. national team at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, winning a gold medal in dominant fashion. Her defense, leadership, and willingness to do the dirty work earned respect even among a roster stacked with superstars. She played not for spotlight, but for team legacy, and delivered. Aya has also been vocal on social issues, including racial justice and gender equity in sports. Her advocacy feels earned, rooted in lived experience. She's spoken out on the pay gap between male and female athletes, on media coverage disparities, and on the importance of representation in leadership positions. She doesn't just make headlines, she helps change headlines. One of the defining features of Aya Wilson's journey is her resilience. In 2021, She tore her Achilles during an overseas season. Rather than let it define her, she used it to reinvent herself, to evolve. When she returned in 2022, she looked stronger, smarter, and more decisive than ever. Her MVP 2022 season came in the wake of one of the toughest injuries a basketball player can face. It wasn't just comeback. It was rebirth. Her style of play combines dominance and grace. At 6 feet 4 inches, she can overpower post defenders, but she also drives to the basket with fluidity, passes with poise, blocks with timing, and rebounds with intent. She stretches defenses with a mid-range jumper and deep ball, and steps into leadership by calmly commanding the flanks. She plays from the chest and the heart. Off the court, she embraces authenticity. Whether it's interviews, social media, or community events, she refuses the athlete-branded mask. She speaks candidly about her faith, her family, her values, and her challenges. She has been open about mental health and the need for self-care. That vulnerability connects deeply. Fans don't just watch her, they feel they know her. Her personal brand is rooted in action. She's partnered with organizations like Nike and Google in ways that reflect her vision, broadening access to sports, amplifying her message of hope, and investing in women-led initiatives. She recently led a campaign to expand opportunities for Black girls in STEM through sport. She isn't just endorsed, she directs. In Las Vegas, Aya became more than a player. She embodied community. She has been involved in local elementary school programs, literacy initiatives, and health drives. She committed to using her success to serve others locally as well as nationally. When you hear teammates describe her leadership, they often say she's both nurturing and demanding. She pushes herself and others to be better. Yet she does it with patience and clarity. She doesn't lecture, she inspires. She doesn't dominate, she cultivates. Aya contends with the expectations of being a face of the league. But even as she carries that weight, she refuses to be reductive. She rejects the idea that female athletes should only be celebrated for beauty, not brawn, or fame, not focus. She combines both. She is tall, but not towering to the point of isolation. She is bold, but never brash. Her legacy is already secure in the eyes of history. Multiple championships, MVPs, international gold, and recognition as one of the greatest two-way players of this generation. The lasting impact, though, lies in the bridges she's building. Between sport and service, between excellence and equity, between celebrity and responsibility. The partnership she's forming with her hometown, with youth leagues, with young fans, and with social causes is not symbolic, it's structural. She isn't just writing her own story. She's making room for others to tell theirs. She's proving that significance isn't measured only in game stats, it's measured in community impact and intentional leadership. As Aya continues to build her legacy with the Las Vegas Aces and beyond, her trajectory remains unexpected only to those unwilling to believe in sustained excellence. She is evolving still. She is expanding still. She hasn't yet peaked. And in an era that craves authenticity as much as dominance, she might be one of the last true generational talents to rise in full command, unmistakable in ability and undeniable in character. So if you've ever witnessed her protect the rim, post a powerful finish, anchor a comeback, or deliver a clutch bucket, know, you were watching not just a player, but a force of nature. You were watching someone remaking more than the scoreboard. You were watching someone remaking what it means to lead, to inspire, and to uplift others while standing at the summit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the extraordinary rise of Aya Wilson, a star who scores, defends, and serves with equal passion. If her story inspires you, if her character moves you, if you believe that greatness can also be generosity, then don't let this tribute end here. Like this video to honor a champion of purpose. Share with someone who knows that greatness includes giving back. Subscribe to About Celebrities for more stories of athletes shaping culture, communities, and the future. Until next time.